for companies, which is the GIFT program. I apologize, I didn't translate that to English, but I hope you all understand it. There's one port that I divide the program in two: a basic port, which is a logic flow, and a senior port, which is master flow. On logic flow, this is my process. We start actually with the strategy of a company, and we finish with a base price. And that base price is a base price based on NBAs, based on next best alternatives. Okay? So the canvas actually works as three parts. Okay? And it's very important to figure out who your substitutes are. If your substitute is a zero, if there are no substitutes because you're first, there are still next best alternatives. Before Facebook, there were still NBAs for Facebook. So the question is, if your product or service is brand new, you need to figure out what the problem is that you're solving, and then you need to figure out if the problem has no solution, what does the customer do? Or where else does he go to get that? Maybe you're the first coffee shop on the city. So in the absence of coffee, where are they getting? Maybe they were buying soda or orange juice. So your NBA might be a substitute. So that's very important. So you need to actually figure out who you sell to, your customer, and it cannot be user. It has to be very specific. The more specific you get with the user, with the customer, the easier it gets to target. Second, you need to figure out what the next best alternative is. Your NBA. Who are you competing with? Or who are you trying to compete against? Okay? And if your product is new, then you need to find substitute. And then the third part is you figure out the differences. This is the easy part. Once I figure my next best alternative, right? And they're selling. So I go and I just learn more about this competitor. And I know exactly what is he offering, how much, what the service, and then what I'll do, at least what I do on the logic flow, is that I use their characteristics to mold my base product, my front. You understand? Okay? So, on February I was in Nicaragua, and I was actually, in Panama, Nicaragua, and I was giving a speech or a conference on pricing. And there's this lady that comes at the end, and she's actually saying that she's in the automotive industry, and she actually wanted to learn more about pricing because she had a brand new competitor. Now, she didn't want to tell me who she was. In the very end, she told me she's Hyundai Nicaragua. And their competitor is Kia, who just happened to enter the market, and they were competing on price. Well, what I told her is the same thing that I tell you. If you sell a Mercedes E500 and your competitor comes and it's a Kia and offers a lesser model, you cannot compete with your E500. You need to figure out something and come up with a product that is very similar to what the competitor is offering. That way, when the customer is actually looking to buy for a product, he's actually going to compare apples with apples as opposed to apples with fruit salad. And that's very important. That's what I do. And again, seeing it from the back, what I do is nothing else other than this. But I look at market. And your business canvas should have market information. Okay. The next one is channels. How do you move your value proposition to your customers? Okay. How do they want to be reached? Now, at the end, I'm actually going to give you 4 quick examples of a canvas. Okay, built. So you can see how this is actually done. So, there are 4 channel phases. How do you create awareness? How do customers can actually learn about your product and evaluate it? Okay? How can they purchase, deliver it, or do it even after sales? We want to know, these are called touch points. I want to know what are the touch points of your business. Customer relationships. That's another one. How am I going to build customer relationships? Okay? Is it going to be through a self-service, or automated, or through your website? Or is this just something that plugs in and I just forget about it? Okay? How exactly am I building that relationship with the customers? Revenue streams. And revenue streams is obviously how you make money. Now the question with revenue streams is that everybody does cost plus cost base. Everybody tries to figure out a cost, puts a margin, and then sell. And for some reason 30% sounds like a fair number for everybody, and I don't understand why. If Louis Vuitton were to offer cost plus base, okay, that plastic-based purse would not cost $1,500. It would probably cost less than 80, right? So the question is that we need to figure out exactly what your revenue stream is, and you need to figure out what your model is. Here's where I help companies. It's not easy. This is to me, this is the most important part of your business. How you make cash. If you do this right, you increase market share immediately and you get a great business. If you do it wrong, you're going to go into a niche, you're going to be fighting for pennies, or even worse, your business is going to be picked up, if you're lucky enough, by somebody else that will know how to monetize your business. So here's where you figure out all the possibilities. That's why I look at your NBAs, next best alternatives. What are they doing now in the market? How are they making their money? You understand? If the wheel was already invented, why reinvent it? Another block is the key resources. Obviously what I need to know is what is required for your business to actually operate. Now, about 6 months ago, I was with a startup, great business. Everything was done on paper. When we figure out exactly what resources were, and that's what they were looking for money, they needed $5 million. To test it. Thank you. Next. Key activities. Key activities actually is, what activities do you need to perform? Now, here I want to introduce a concept called HPAs, high performing activities. I want to know what the HPAs of the business are. Okay? Accounting, administration, operations are not HPAs. HPAs are the actual activities that make money, the actual activities that the customer obviously understand and need from you. Okay? What exactly are you doing? Key partners. Whom else are you actually using to leverage your business model? Obviously, these are part of the relations or relationships. And again, I'm just giving this part here, so we're going to share this slide with you guys later. And if you choose to do the Canvas, then you can actually use these questions as references. Okay? Obviously, what's the motivation with a partner? Another big flaw that I see in a lot of the startups is that they usually choose the wrong partner to go into business with. Okay? So, you just partner up with a name. Telefonica. That's not your biggest partner, that's not your best partner. Okay? You are just a goldfish in the sea with them. Okay? So sometimes I look at this. Why are you partnering with someone? Are you partnering because you actually need it, they give you economies of scale, or they're just giving you a name and it's cool to have Telefonica attached to your company? Right? It's very important who you partner with, and as an investor, you're going to see who are you dealing with. And sometimes your partners are a deal breaker. And unfortunately, if you have a great business, but I don't have time, if you don't have this square off from the get-go, probably I'll tell you, thank you, I passed. And I could have passed on a great business. Okay? So the business canvas allows you to see if you actually have the proper or the right partner line up. And in the end, I want to know the cost. Obviously, what's your cost structure? Most software companies don't know their cost. Can't figure it out. They don't know how to put a price for their efforts. Usually that's a pain. I'm actually working with a company on that's on scale. They just left the startup chill infrastructure. They actually went with another incubator who I also mentor. I'm a mentor there. And one of the things with their cost structure is that they were figuring out the price of implementation of their software based on a billable hour basis, which is exactly the same thing as saying they are using still tapes or they're listening to vinyl. It's cool, but it's probably not the most practical way. So obviously we were able to figure this out and reduce that implementation price, which was a barrier, but we decreased it by 80%. And now we actually have a more marketable product. In fact, we're based in Colombia. So, I need to know, obviously, in your cost structure exactly how your business is comprised. What's your expense? I know, guys, this is probably boring for you because you probably have heard of this before, but believe me on the importance of this. If you don't do this work at least once a month to review it, somebody else will do it. And most important, if I'm an investor, I will look at this before I see anything else. And that's it. It's obviously just one layer over the other one. It's the way you actually define your business model through the canvas. I get to see this one sheet of paper and I know if I want to invest in it or not. I get to see this one sheet of paper from a startup and I can tell you exactly where you should be working. I actually require every single one of my clients, including the big ones, to do a business canvas. All right? It helps me, it helps them. And definitely helps them because they figure out the logic of what they are, what's their business that they're into. So, where do you get the information? Guess. Simple guess. Okay? You guess the information. You roll out the hypothesis of what your ideal is, and then you actually go and work on it. But that's the secret about it. You need to just guess. There's no Google that will copy and paste and so on about this. So guess. And just by guessing, obviously, you're just having much more creativity.